the vessel glides down from the heavens, following the forgotten paths of the past as it approaches the Indus Valley. A civilization that defies time has come to these lands countless times. Each time they arrived, they were welcomed like gods descending from the sky. But they were not gods. They were merely those who had gone further. The crystals emerge from the deepest veins of these lands. Those who unearth them spend their days digging, unaware of their true value. But the ones who come from the sky know. To them, these crystals mean power, knowledge, and journey. The Vimana descends, casting its shadow over the mine. The arrivals were different. Their skin was pale, their gaze deep. Their garments were made of neither leather nor woven plants. The objects they carried in their hands were creations of a technology beyond the understanding of the local people. But they were not new here. They had come countless times before, and they had taken countless times before. These are no ordinary stones. They are crystals that have matured in the veins of the earth for thousands of years, carrying pure energy. Those who extract them may not understand their purpose, but they sustain their lives by giving the visitors what they seek. And now, as the containers fill, another cycle is complete. They came, they took, and they left. This was neither the first nor the last time. The local people will remember them until the wind erases their traces, and the crystals will wait, deep within the earth, until they gather once more. But those who dwell in the sky never wait. They always return. The sons of the heavens reached out to the children of the earth. The man with golden hair, clad in garments woven with light, spoke to the primitive warriors. He promised them that by defeating their legendary enemies, they would join his glorious kingdom. Those who came from beyond the stars were seeking new warriors. For the first time, the primitives were so close to the sky. As the ship glided upwards in a blue light, a new world was opening before their eyes. The Crystal City stood like a throne above the clouds. Now their destiny was written not only on the earth, but also among the stars. In the land of ice, immortal giants awaited. Creatures descended from Fenrir were ready to destroy everything, to protect the sacred glow of the crystal. But the sons of the heavens had to be here for victory. As the storm of war rose, the first drops of blood began to fall on the snow. Victory did not come easily. The enemies were defeated, but the warriors had suffered losses. In the cold silence of the ice, the sons of the heavens took the crystal. The energy would be carried beyond the stars and strengthen the kingdom of heaven. And finally, the warriors sat at the heavenly table. In the palace of the heavens, under the crystal lights, the celebration of victory began. Now they were part of the Sky Kingdom, but this was only the beginning. Before the Holocene epoch, a great civilization reigned in the now submerged regions of the Mediterranean. They ruled the world with cities they built in the sky, using the power of crystals to transcend boundaries. Trade routes extended to this great city. Flying vehicles, ships crossing the seas. People from all over the world met here, exchanging knowledge and wealth. The civilization did not only trade, it guided primitive tribes all over the world, providing them with knowledge and technology. Thus, order and harmony were ensured in these ancient lands. The council determined the fate of the civilization, which resources would be collected, which regions would be supported. The lords of the skies shaped the balances on earth. When night fell, the city in the sky shone. Ships flying to distant lands set off. The voice of the civilization spread to the world. They were born to rule the stars. A vast city, gliding among the stars, powered by hydrogen plasma. Giant domes shimmering in the sky, towers pulsating with blue-green lights. Its inhabitants are at the pinnacle of wisdom and technology. Yet in another city on Earth, hatred and fear have taken root. Some see them as gods, others as enemies. Hidden assassins stealthily infiltrate the veins of the Sky City. Their weapon is chaos. Explosives planted in the city's energy centers slowly begin their countdown. That night, fire will mingle with the stars, and then, at midnight, the first explosion shakes the domes. Hydrogen plasma generators detonate, columns of fire rise. For a moment, the sky is illuminated by a second sun. As the city convulses in flames, metal giants crash to the ground. Primitive tribes living on Earth watch the great fires rising in the sky. For them, it is a war of the gods. As the fires rise, the clouds darken. The sudden downpour following the explosions brings floods to Earth. Great tidal waves engulf the valleys. Death and destruction reign both in the sky and on the ground. The sky falls silent. The Sky City is gone, consumed by flames and rain. For those on Earth, it is a war of the gods. The fire gods have vanished. The water gods have prevailed. A new era is beginning. The last human to remember those who came from the sky, his hands stained with mud, begins to draw a story born from the ruins. The sky flared once more. The destruction of the Sky City had set the legions in motion. Now they have no purpose but revenge. With their sky vehicles, laser weapons, and all their terrifying technology, they rain death upon the Earth. The sky is ablaze. Massive explosions tear through the sky. The energy from laser weapons ignites even the atmosphere. The heat scorches even those far away. Oceans evaporate. The sky transforms into a fiery hell. The war between the gods becomes their downfall. The warriors of advanced civilizations die one by one. As everything they built is destroyed, only a handful of survivors remain. Yet where everything ends, there is still hope. In the distant mines, primitive miners have survived. They don't understand this war, but they see what's happening in the sky as a curse. While the whole world burns, one city still stands. The last advanced civilization in the Mediterranean. But supply chains are broken, scientists are dead, and the last hopes are dwindling. If this city falls too, no trace will remain. Great cities had long since vanished. Golden towers, brightly lit avenues, powerful crystals. All were lost to history. The last city of the Mediterranean no longer shone. Those who controlled the power of the crystals had died in wars. Great leaders were gone. But the true end had not yet come. Revenge was inevitable. The rainstone was prepared for the great annihilation. A few men activated this climate control weapon, hidden for centuries, on a mountain peak. The countdown began. The sky would witness their wrath, and the button was pressed. In an instant, dark clouds covered the entire sky. Lightning pierced the heavens, winds turned into hurricanes, storms danced wildly, rain began to pour down furiously as if to cleanse all the sins of the past. The sea swelled, glaciers melted, floods blocked roads, great waves swallowed the coast. The last city of the Mediterranean was sinking into the water. Without their old technologies, The people were helpless against the rising waters. There was no salvation. As the city slowly sank into the depths, the last tower disappeared from view. The rain stopped, the storm ceased. Only the endless sea and a forgotten civilization remained. There were no witnesses left, no revenge, no hope. After days of storms, the sky finally cleared, but it was too late. The last city of the Mediterranean was submerged in the depths of the water. Its tall towers toppled. Silence. But this was just the beginning of a greater collapse. Even underwater, the destruction did not stop. Cracked walls crumbled. Arches that had stood for centuries were buried in the sand. The once shining crystals of the city were extinguished, lost in the depths of history. But nature did not mourn a lost city. In the depths, a dormant volcano awoke. The first tremors began to shake the ruins beneath the sea. Century-old structures collapsed one by one. A massive explosion, and the city was destroyed once more, with its last remnants. After the volcano erupted, ashes darkened the sky. Rivers overflowed, waterways changed. Lava and mud slowly settled over the city. Years passed, and no trace remained. Generations passed. Stories were forgotten. The city that once defied the sky was no longer even a legend. The waters covered the ashes. The earth hid the past. And finally, nothing remained. On the seashore, the remnants of a forgotten world lie. The pieces of Sky Town, with their burnt and ruined bodies, are scattered across the beach. What remains of the towers that once pierced the sky are now shapeless piles of metal, eroded by sea salt. Those who once ruled humanity are now lost in the hands of nature. Years have passed. The ocean wind and salt have begun to erase all traces. Metal frames have broken, stones have cracked, memories have vanished. Now on these lands, there are neither sky vehicles nor those who speak of giant cities. Nature silently devours what man has built. Those who once conquered the skies are now gone, but humans continue to fight for survival. Primitive tribes hunt by struggling with nature, build shelters and tell their stories in the warmth of the fire. But in these stories, there is no longer Sky Town, nor the echoes of lost civilizations. The old ones, who once saw the sparkle of flying cities, are now about to take their last breaths. Eyes that looked at the stars have begun to forget the giant flames that once burned there. When the last witnesses die, the past will be nothing more than a vague whisper carried by the wind. Generations have passed. No one knows anymore. Neither the great cities, nor the vehicles gliding in the skies, nor the glory of the past. Sands, oceans, and forests have covered all traces. The last words have been lost in the wind, and now no one remembers.